Hello, hello, my friends. Today it is Sunday, May 14th, the Saturday of Furry Weekend Atlanta of 2023, and we had an absolutely fabulous day visiting several of our friends and hanging out at a room party. It was absolutely fabulous, and we wanted to give you a few tips and tricks for if you visit a furry convention yourself. The first one is to make sure to make as many friends as you can, both in person and over the internet. A great place to make friends in preparation for going to a furry convention is the apps, Telegram and Twitter, and Discord as well. So if you go on these apps, Telegram, Twitter, and Discord, you can find all kinds of furries, and many of them will say specifically in their bios, in their names, or just maybe they're a member of a group regarding the convention. But the point is, they are going to be people at the convention. And so, for example, one of the things that we found was an FWA bot on Telegram where people can submit things that they are going to do. So, for example, if they have a room party, if they want to meet up with people, if they want to do things involving all kinds of cool people at the event, they can post that on this bot, and then any person who uses the bot can look at what events are happening. And so this is actually how we found the room party that we went to. Another way you can do this is just simply to go in person. Most room parties will have a sign outside the door that says exactly what the room party is about and whether or not you are able to go in or if you have to have an invitation. And so there's another way to go around. And many furries don't even know this, that you can just simply walk around the convention hotel and you can find people who are hosting these things. Another thing to keep in mind is that most of the furries are just as shy as you. And so if you simply just walk up to them and start talking, in many cases, you will make a new friend. And finally, in terms of this specific set of talking points, the most important thing is to simply have fun. A lot of people take the same approach to furry conventions as they do to something like Disney World, where they say, "Oh, I have to ride every ride, and I have to buy everything," and people will go with $2,000. And they will spend all of it in the vendor hall. That is not a good idea. For most furries, spending that much money would be an enormous drain on their finances. That is not a good financial decision. So, don't treat it like a marathon. Don't treat it like a sprint. Treat it like a marathon. Basically, here's my recommendation. Don't go with a plan. Do not go with a plan. Go with serendipity in mind. Go with spontaneity in mind.
Go with winging it, basically.
Oh, my husband has woken up from his petrified mummy sleep. Hello, husband. How are you?
Hello. And no, it wasn't a petrified mummy sleep. You silly goose.
He was lying in a sarcophagus. He had his arms crossed. He had an ankh in his hand. It's a joke, my dear.
You silly goose. Now, as far as room parties go, yes, always be kind, be clean, be courteous, and if there's a bar, you could just volunteer to do your bartending. It doesn't really matter what you put in the alcohol, as long as you put less alcohol and more fruits and other stuff. Trust me, the party lasts longer that way.
Absolutely. You don't want to give people too much alcohol at the beginning of the night. In fact, the very room party that we went to, somebody got so drunk they threw up. Don't do that. That's not being a good room party guest. That is unhelpful. Let's say. Unhelpful.
Yes.
In addition, make sure that you adhere to whatever rules that the room party has. Now, of course, this is going on the radio, so we can't talk about anything adult-oriented, but let's give examples of rules that don't have anything to do with adult stuff. So, like, for example, some people will say, bring your own beer. Some people will say, there will be beer there, and you can have some of it for free. Other ones will say, there will be beer and alcohol there, and you can have some of it for a tip or a donation if you want to. Those are examples of some of the different types of rules that you'll find. And if you're able to find the host of the party, whether in person or online, what you can do is you can ask them what the rules are. Because it is very important to make sure that you respect the rules of the person who is in charge. Now, what would you say are some other things that people should know before attending these types of parties, my dear?
Well, other things that they should know before attending these types of parties.
Another thing that you should know is that it is very, very important And I say this with love to some of my furry friends. I do not say this with any type of animosity. I'm saying this as a constructive criticism to many of my furry friends. Guys, don't be a Debbie Downer, please. You are going to a party. I understand that you're a nerd. I understand you're a geek, as am I. And I understand that you probably have not attended very many, let's just say, adult-oriented parties in your life. Because if you are a furry, most furries are incredibly socially awkward. Most furries are incredibly socially awkward. And so you add anything that they are not familiar with. Yeah, people go to a Magic the Gathering meetup. Friday Night Magic is what they call it.
Yep.
And people are like, oh, great, I got something to talk about. I got my cards. I can talk about my cards all day. You put them in a room with 10 other people and loud music, and they go, I don't know what to do. I've never been in this situation before. Do you want to play Magic the Gathering? Not helpful, guys. Not helpful. So, number 1, be friendly. Number 2, be kind. Number 3, be respectful. If we have to go back to kindergarten to teach you people, that is what we will have to do. Now, here is my recommendation. Follow the host's lead. Okay? This is a principle that will serve you well in many situations, especially things like dinner parties, things like that. Okay? You don't start eating before the host starts eating at a dinner party. In the same way, you follow the lead of the host at whatever party that you're at. So, for example, at the party that we went to, the host was an excellent host, despite the fact that they had never done a room party before. They were just using their intuitive knowledge of how to handle a large group of people.
Well,
it was
they were
great.
using their intuitive knowledge plus the backing of several very well qualified individuals who have hosted many parties.
Yes.
So our powers combined, we managed to keep it in one piece.
Absolutely. And let me point out that between your help, the help of the bartender who was there, and my help setting some of the stuff up, they had a very smooth party.
Oh, yeah.
Now, apparently something happened at the end. I don't know exactly what was going on. There was a bunch of hugging and crying and stuff going on. I don't know what was going on. But the point is that these people were able to host a party for the first time at a furry convention. And it went really smoothly. Now, like I said, one of the reasons why it went smoothly is because they focused on the basics, okay?
Yes.
A lot of people make the mistake of not focusing on the basics, okay?
Absolutely.
People make the mistake of, I'm gonna do this really complicated theme, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody is there in costume, and like, no.
Step 1, make sure people are of age. Step 2.
Hold on, my dear. You're not speaking at a volume that is commensurate with the radio. So let me hold it closer to your mouth. Go ahead.
Step 1, make sure people are of age.
Make sure that people are of age if you are serving alcohol. Okay? That is extremely important. And this is one of the things that this party did right. They said, checking IDs at the door, which incredibly I've seen some furry parties not do, which is ridiculous. Guys, it is a huge legal liability if you do not check someone's ID at the door.
Correct.
Even if it is a safe-for-work party, even if it is fully safe for work, fully, quote-unquote, family-friendly, you could still have something happen that you don't want to happen. This is why we always, whenever we host parties, we always check people's IDs. No matter how old they look, no matter how young they look, it does not matter. You always check their ID and make sure they are over the age of 21 if they are drinking. Correct. It is very important. And many people at many conventions have had the police called on them for underage drinking. It is a huge problem if you don't do your due diligence. It is very important.
Absolutely. And Rule number 2, make sure you keep the drama to a minimum.
Yes, so this is something that is incredibly important, and not enough people do this, okay? This is a rule that I always have in every group that I run, whether on YouTube, Telegram, Discord, Twitter, whatever. Anytime that I run a chat group. Rule number 1, or I should say rule number 2. Rule number 1 is be over the age of 18 if we're going to be in an adult-oriented group. Number 2, and the most important rule other than rule 1, is no drama. Absolutely no drama. 0% tolerance.
Yeah.
If you start drama, if you start an argument, if you have any type of disagreement with any person, it does not matter to me. Take that crap outside, meaning outside the group. Okay? Because if you have 10 people in a room, you're going to have at least 15 opinions. And so people's feelings are going to be hurt. People are going to disagree on stuff. That is normal. But just make sure they have these disagreements in private messages, outside of the group, in other groups, whatever. Just keep it out of your group and out of your room party. Somebody starts to have an argument with somebody. You say, hey, take it outside now. This is for several reasons. One, it does not bring down the vibe of the entire event. Number two, it tells everyone else 0% tolerance for this behavior.
Correct.
Because if you give people any leeway whatsoever, as I can attest from many problems that I had at my parties when we used to host them, any lenience, any leeway whatsoever on this drama rule, and people will pounce on it and screw things up. It is not helpful. You must be firm on this rule. And to their credit, the person hosting this party had this as one of the rules. No drama. No drama, no drama, and no exceptions.
Correct. No drama.
And the reason for that is not because people will never disagree. There will always be disagreements. In any group of people larger than one, there will be disagreements. 2 people, yes, there will be disagreements. As my husband can attest, frequent disagreements. If you increase the number of people from 2 to 3, you don't have twice as many disagreements, you have 4 times as many disagreements. And it goes on from there. Unfortunately, that is just the way that people are. You cannot change human nature, but you can prevent human nature from screwing you over. So those are some of our recommendations for how to have fun at a furry party. We hope that you guys will find a place in your local neighborhood. There are many events on meetup.com, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Many local meetups that you can go to, or you can go to a furry convention. There are many furry conventions all over the country.
Eventbrite as well.
Eventbrite, yes. Eventbrite is an excellent place to find events too. So, take those into consideration, and we hope that you have a wonderful furry time, my friends. This has been Satoshi Nakamoto. We will see you next time.